This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, looking so clean, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
We make it look easy.
Yeah. I do what I want. Bring them to the front. Eat them off for lunch. Roll up like a big blunt. You know I'm a stun. Pockets on big lump.
Big love.
And you know I make the show run. Don't try to act like you never seen a real one. Ice water got you frozen. Wetter than the ocean. Baby got motion. I walk like lit like strobe lights. Baby, I got insight. I be in my own right. Ooh. Been around the block. Yeah, I'm hot like woo. Been around the block. Yeah, I do what I do.
Yeah.
Following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, I think we know this. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Today is Wednesday, which makes it a Whip 'em Out Wednesday, April the 8th of 2026. And we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Oh, yes, doing the stuff with people at radiobig.fm. So how have you been? Were you happy last night once 8 p.m. hit? Or, I mean, I think the countdown was already going down prior to, so some information was already given in regards to what was going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So what was discussed? Let's see. I believe it was a two-week ceasefire. So what will happen over the next 2 weeks? That's going to become the questions of questions. That's kind of, we already know how this is going to go. So how have you been? Hopefully things are good in your neck of the woods with that information. And then we can move forward and talk about everything else that's going on inside of the world. Some people were a little uneasy yesterday with some of the stuff discussed during the main story, and that happens. Not every main story is going to be perfect for some. But sometimes we have to throw some things out there of what the hell's going on. Okay, so with this being said, let's talk real quick about some things and how we do stuff around here. We talk about safety in the news and safety. That's just kind of what we do. Outside of that, we bring in some professional broadcasters. They talk about what the hell's going on inside of the world. And then we kind of give you the layout of the land inside of the world of the multiverse. That's it. That is the whole kit and caboodle of the whole thing. So I will bring in some professional broadcasters. You can hang out with them, take a listen to what they have to say. And then if you want to interact with the show, especially because it's a Whip 'em Out Wednesday, all you have to do is go to callinradio.com and click on the section that's there. And you make the choice of video, audio, or text messaging. Video, audio, or text messaging are the options. On Wednesdays, it seems to be more visual application is what it seems like that gets passed through there. So just information in regards to what we're talking about. So with that being said, I can bring in my friends from Feature Story News right now, and they can tell you about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the multiverse. If you're good with that, I'm good with that, and we can get it all moving and grooving right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. US President Donald Trump's agreed to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. It depends on Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz and other conditions. News of the ceasefire came just over an hour before a deadline at which President Trump had threatened a whole civilization will die. Andrew Gawthorpe is from think tank the Foreign Policy Center and says it's a fragile moment.
I think we should be very happy that Trump didn't follow through on his threats to attack civilian targets on Iran in a massive scale, because that could have kicked off a new cycle of escalation that did even more damage to the world economy, caused even more suffering within Iran. But we still don't really see a clear pathway to the end of this conflict. There's really still massive differences between what both sides are demanding here.
Journalist at Monoto TV, a widely watched channel in Iran, Tina Gazimarad, says the two sides have demands which may not be compatible.
There are miles apart. There are still the severe difference and also different demands and needs in place, and I can hardly see where they can meet each other. For example, Islamic republics wants the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the region. The U.S. still, the condition of Strait of Hormuz is quite vague because it will be under the supervision of the Tehran's armed forces.
In other news, Republican Clay Fuller is projected as the winner of Georgia's runoff election. He's a Donald Trump-endorsed candidate who is up against Democrat Sean Harris. They were fighting for the congressional seat formerly held by Marjorie Taylor Greene, who resigned earlier this year and had a high-profile falling out with President Trump. London's Wireless Festival has been cancelled by its organisers after the UK government banned US rapper Kanye West from entering Britain. West, now known as Ye, was due to headline all 3 days of the festival, but his booking sparked significant backlash because of his anti-Semitic comments. Laura Bentley reports from London.
The announcement of Kanye West as the headliner for the Wireless Festival was greeted with near-instant, widespread criticism. It centred on his history of anti-Semitic remarks, including statements in which he claimed to be a Nazi and a song title referencing Hail Hitler. Pressure mounted on the festival organisers after its main sponsor, Pepsi, withdrew their support on Monday. In response to the backlash, the UK government denied West entry to the UK, which ultimately led organisers to cancel the event. Shortly before the cancellation, West had offered to meet with members of the UK's Jewish community in an effort to address his past behaviour, which he has previously linked to his bipolar disorder. Lara Bentley, London.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, with more today from the National Union for Democracy in Iran, an opposition group closely allied to Reza Pahlavi, son of the late Shah, who has spent decades projecting himself as an alternative to the country's brutal, murderous, fundamentalist Shiite regime. But at a time when President Trump is not avowedly calling for regime change, the Crown Prince's supporters and other opposition groups in Iran face a complicated path to power. Khosrow Isfahani is the NUFDI's research director based in Washington.
The Islamic Republic has been weakened. It has enabled the Iranian people given us a better chance at overthrowing this regime. That's a fact. You cannot argue against that. Whatever Donald Trump says from the podium is not going to change the fate of the Iranian people, because we are the people who are going to decide what's going to happen in our country, not the leader of another country. We are going to fight, we are going to die, and we are going to reclaim our homeland. That's where we come from. The United States can stand with the Iranian people or can betray us. It doesn't matter. We have been around for millennia. The Islamic Republic is nothing compared to the past.
But it may, of course, turn out to matter if President Trump leaves the regime's remnants in place, as he did in Venezuela, and fails to identify a path to democracy. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, US President Donald Trump's agreed to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. It depends on Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz and a series of other conditions. Republican Clay Fuller's projected as the winner of Georgia's runoff congressional seat election, and London's Wireless Festival has been cancelled by its organisers after the UK government banned US rapper Kanye West from entering Britain. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, okay, I got it. We don't have to lie about it. At least I got the info. Okay, so there you go. Let's start talking right away about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of what happens. Somebody, they made this in here. Take a listen to this. Tell me what you think.
Booster ignition and liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
NASA astronauts may be headed to the moon, but we're the only show brave enough to plant a flag right in your coffee.
Okay, so I don't know if I really want anything in coffee, because let's start off and be realistic about some of the stuff that goes on. I don't really care about coffee, so there you go. Well, let's talk about the Artemis for a moment here, because I think that, did we talk about this yesterday? I'm not sure now. What day of the week are we in? Because my brain is all over the place. Now, why am I thinking today's Tuesday? Today's not Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Like, why is my brain all over the place? Like, my brain's all over the place in regards to what's going on. So it's definitely... Yeah, I did say that it was Whip 'em Out Wednesday, but why am I thinking, like, I've been sitting here going, yeah, what are we going to talk about on a lovely Tuesday? But it's not Tuesday, it's Wednesday. Man, it's funny to me sometimes on where my head goes in regards to some of the stuff that's going on. So there you go. Ignore me. So, I mean, it's not a very difficult thing to do in that particular regards, but man, my brain we went to ads, and all of a sudden my head went all over the place in regards of what's going on. So there you go. So let's start talking. I think I want to tread on this one, but I guess I need to tread lightly as I talk about it, because I had someone near and dear to my heart here send me something, and I'm not they didn't really say don't talk about it, but they are fully aware that I can never shut up about anything. So I don't think that if I do this, I'm going to be betraying trust, but now I have to be able to find it in regards to talking about this. So with that being said, I don't know how it works in your state or wherever country you're actually based out of, but in the good old state of Florida, you have to ever so frequently, of course, register your car, and you have to do some things in regards of, making sure that everything is good to go with your vehicle. But here in Florida, every 10 years, you have to replace your plate. I used to think that it was 5, but this person told me that it was 10. And now I want you to imagine for a moment that you get your car registration, and then all of a sudden, they send you a new plate in the mail. Now, when you receive the plate, you come to the realization that things might be on the verge of changing for you. And this person that's very close and near and dear to my heart sent this over because this was the new plate that was sent. And I'm going to tell you, this is 100% not AI generated. So I want to make sure that we're clear here when I say this. But take a look at this plate if you're on the video streamer. This is the plate that the person received. And this is not a joke. But if you are only on the radio version, here's what it says. So in the state of Florida, it is the Florida state in the background, and then a pair of oranges in the middle. And then it says myflorida.com on the top and Sunshine State on the bottom. But this plate that the person received is 74V, then a pair of oranges, and then it says CUM. I want you to hear that again. 74V, oranges, CUM. This is a plate that was sent in the mail to the person that's very near and dear to my heart in regards to this. And I could not believe that this was an actual thing that occurred. I was like in total shock that this was something that would be sent in the mail to anyone, especially from the state. And so, of course, the person was freaking out in that particular regards. But what do you think here? I would love to hear what you have to say. Callinradio.com, of course, in regards to that. But man, what a weird thing to receive in the mail that all of a sudden you're supposed to display in the car. Of course, this near and dear friend of mine decided that was not having it, was not keeping that thing on their car. I don't even think they put it on their car, if I really kind of think about it for a moment, based on how they were reacting about the whole thing. But I get it. I get it. Okay, so let's start talking about some other weird stuff, because that's kind of what we do here. A Houston couple got a bizarre Easter surprise. Yeah, Easter surprise when their dog started barking around 12:30 a.m. They checked the fireplace and discovered a man stuck inside their chimney groaning and speaking Spanish. Firefighters had to knock down the stone wall brick by brick to free the 33-year-old Edwin Leonard Saleman Granados, who was wedged in the space barely 2 square feet. He told rescuers that he was being chased, but investigators say that he'll be charged for burglary or habitation once he's out from the hospital. Meanwhile, the homeowners are left with the destroyed fireplace and a big repair bill and hope that insurance will cover it. Take a listen to what happened here. Take a listen.
All of a sudden, I started hearing, yeah. And it was coming out of the fireplace.
I come down and opened the flue inside the fireplace, and the flue levers inside there. And this guy was speaking Spanish, and he was freaking out.
Well, I mean, I think anybody would be freaking out if they were stuck. But yeah, what a weird thing. Imagine that. That's definitely an Easter egg hunt that you didn't expect on Sunday morning, that's for sure. So take a listen to this one real quick. A barber in Great Duval, Essex, is catching heat in a surprising visit from police after placing 1,000 fake parking tickets on car windshields as a bold advertising stunt. Jack Lewis, 35, owner of a grooming salon, printed flyers designed to look like penalty charges notices, but instead of a fine, the ticket unfolded into a $5 discount haircut voucher. Jack said that it did it because business has gotten tougher, and whoever shouts the loudest gets seen and heard. The stunt cost him about 140 euros to produce, but about $5,000 worth of discounts. Police community support officers stopped by to question him, though Jack insists that the stunt wasn't illegal. Still, Great Dumwow Town Council called the tactic inappropriate, saying that it caused unnecessary alarm for residents who thought they were being fined. Jack says that he understands that some people were upset, but the goal was attention, and it worked. About 50 customers have already redeemed their vouchers. He explains that the rising cost is from the price of hairspray jumping from $3.75 to $8 to the national insurance increases have made running a barber shop even harder. With 7 barbers on the same high street, he felt that he had to be creative. The council warned that anything mimicking an enforcement notice risks distressing residents, but Jack says that he's just trying to keep the business alive. You can sit there and do nothing, or you can go out there and get the work, so you make the decision. So that's one of the things, I guess, that you have to look at when it's all said and done. What do you think there? Is it poor taste? It's a debate. That's for sure in regards to that. So there you go. So let's talk about the $100 date rule. Have you heard about this? There's a debate going on online, but it says tell you what they're saying out there, and then you can tell me what you think, of course. A viral post claims that a real date costs at least $100 and anything less is low effort. The internet is split on yes, invest in me, and inflation is killing us. Calm down. So here's what I'm going to ask you. What is the minimum someone should spend on a date, or does money matter at all? You can go to callinradio.com and let me know exactly what you think for that particular regards, because I'm very curious on how this works. I was talking over the weekend with a pretty well-known acquaintance of mine, And they were talking about how they went on a date recently, and the person took them to a golf course. And it was interesting just to be able to interact opposed to just sitting there in a stuffy either dining hall, movie theater, or wherever I guess people do dates nowadays. I don't know. So they thought that it was a different approach when it was all said and done. What do you think? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I remember I had a friend when I was in high school that he would tell me that if people were interested in going out with him, that the first place that he was going to tell him to was either Taco Bell or they were going to go Dutch, is how he referred to it back then, which means they would split the cost in regards of wherever they were going. So what do you think? Is it worth it or not worth it? I am never sure. No, seriously, I'm never sure on how to think about those things because people get all weirded out sometimes on where you have to go when it's happening. So there you go. Have you heard about this? I had to share this with you. Mountain Dew has officially jumped into the dirty soda craze with brand new drink called Dirty Mountain Dew, plus a zero sugar version. Both are rolling out in stores now. 20-ounce bottles, 12 packs, and cans. Dirty sodas is the trend where you mix soda with flavored syrup or coffee cream has blown up with Gen Z, and Mountain Dew's version blends the classic citrus flavor with smoothie, creamy finish. Pepsi says that it's the bold twist has fans been waiting for. They've been waiting for this one. There's also a freebie deal starting on April the 29th. DoorDash users in select cities can add free Dirty Mountain Dew onto their DashMart card. One per customer, of course, while supplies last. Cities include Detroit, Kansas City, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, San Diego, Huntsville, Toledo, Tampa, Sarasota, Fresno, Chattanooga, and more. The launch allows Pepsi to Pepsi's earlier release of Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream and other soda brands are jumping into the trend. Dr. Pepper is rolling out a creamy Coke and an A&W root beer, a float flavor coming this summer. So there you go. So Mountain Dew, why mix yourself when you can just have the whole chaos inside? I guess we're going to continue talking about colas. Let's talk about this real quick. Coca-Cola is going big with the 250th America's birthday this July the 4th. The company just unveiled a brand new line of America's 250th collectible mini cans, each one designed to celebrate something iconic from all 50 states, plus Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. Think Georgia peaches, California surf culture. Every can has its own local symbol, and these aren't just cute designs. Coca-Cola says the packaging connects to interactive experiences, including prizes that you can unlock by scanning the cans. One of the big prizes, a chance to win a new Jeep, and the other to travel theme rewards. The campaign is built around a new anthem called Drinkin' America. Celebrates the spirit in communities across the country. Coca-Cola says that its goal is to uplift people in every zip code as the nation hits the milestone birthday. The collectible mini cans, along with special bottles, will be available nationwide starting this month at major retailers like Walmart and Target. And it's just not Coke. It's Coke Zero, Vitamin Water, Smart Water, Body Armor, and Gold Peak. I have to be honest with you. I do not know what Gold Peak is. Hopefully you do, because I have no clue whatsoever. Okay, I guess that we should get into some serious stuff. Just for a moment here, if you may allow me to do so. President Trump abruptly agreed to a 2-week pause of the planned military strikes against Iran. A dramatic reversal announced less than 90 minutes before the self-imposed 8 p.m. deadline. In a true social statement, Trump said that he held urgent calls with Pakistan's prime minister and a field marshal who urged him to delay what is described as a destructive force prepared to hit Iran. Trump said that the ceasefire is conditional on Iran agreeing to complete immediate and safe opening of the strait, the critical waterway that moves roughly 20% of the world's oil. He claimed that the U.S. has already met and exceeded all military objectives, and the negotiations are very far along on a long-term peace agreement with Iran and broader Middle East. Jeez, I can't even speak. Trump also said that Iran submitted to the 10-point proposal that he believes is a workable basis of the final deal. The last-minute diplomacy followed the day of escalating tension. I don't know. And I'm just going to talk because this is what I do. it's kind of interesting when you think about this whole thing. And the reason that I say this is for the following reason. Because I thought that 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, where the hell this whole thing started, that it was day one and everything was done. I thought he had referenced immediately that things were over. I don't know. So I just kind of think it's weird that we're still talking about this. So there you go. Okay, take a listen to this. American freelance journalist Shelley Kittleson has been released after being abducted a week ago by the by a militia group in Katib. According to the AI Monitor, one of the outlets she writes for, her U.S. Point of contact, CNN national security analyst Alex Pittas confirmed on X that they are still waiting for their formal transfer to the U.S. Officials are saying that they'll hold off to celebrate until she safely is in Americans' hands. A recently released video showed proof of life, and they announced on Telegram that the Kittleson was being freed on the condition that she leave Iraq immediately. AI Monitor says the two officials have confirmed the release, and Kittleson is a veteran reporter who has been contributed to foreign policy, Politico, BBC, World Services, and other major outlets. According to the Associated Press, the militia officials say that her release is part of an exchange with several that have been detained members expected to be freed by the Iraqi authorities. So there you go. Let me give you one more before we get into our main story. Bill Gates has agreed to answer lawmakers' questions and his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. The Microsoft co-founder is set for a closed-door transcribed interview with the House Oversight Committee on June the 10th as part of the Epstein probe. Committee Chair Rep. James Comer wrote to Gates last month requesting an interview, saying that based on the public records, the Justice Department documents, the committee believes that you have information that will assist the investigation. Gates has previously apologized to the staff at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for his relationship with Epstein, which he says ran from 2011 to 2014. The convicted sex offender wrote emails in 2013 pushing unverified claims about Gates' private life, allegations that team has called absolutely absurd and completely false. Gates reportedly admitted to the staff that he had affairs, one Russian bridge player who he met at a bridge event, and one Russian nuclear physicist who he met at a business activity. So there you go. There you go. Anyways, 32 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and do this because it is main story time.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
So I have to tell you, I have left what we would call Fortune 500 companies many moons ago because I thought it was important to go share safety to the world differently, and I didn't think that doing it at one location for an extended period of time was how I wanted to continue sharing the information that I had and research that I have done and things along those lines. Now, you're probably going to sit there for a moment and go, why in the hell are we talking about this shit? And I get it, because that makes a lot of sense to me. It's not that I'm bragging of, hey, I am doing my own thing, but I am looking at it from the standpoint that I think it's funny when sometimes I run into some of these weird scenarios that remind me so heavily on why I do not like working directly, meaning as an employee-employer relationship with Fortune 500 companies. And let me explain why I'm saying this. So yesterday I had the great opportunity of sitting down with someone from a Fortune 500 company that they were interested in doing business. That's fine. Those things happen. Not an issue whatsoever. So we're having a conversation, and they were telling me that they would like to have someone join their C-suite for a moment and have a discussion with their C-suite. And here's how it worked. They told me that I had a total of 30 minutes for a discussion, which is not normally how we do C-suite conversations, which I kind of find hilarious. And then the other portion was they gave me a 3-day window, and it's a take it or leave it scenario. If I don't take it right now, it's a done deal. We're not doing anything together. So I said, hey, which one of the 30 days are you looking at? Oh, we haven't made a determination. Okay, well, then I can't really tell you much of anything. Okay, well, we are the biggest of what we do out here on the West Coast, so we're just going to go ahead and move on without you. Okay, that is perfectly fine. For some reason, I think after I started the conversation and it had been 20 seconds and I was told that they were the biggest company that does whatever the hell it is that they do, that I was supposed to be impressed. And I'm going to tell you something, that shit does not impress me. And then they turned around and thought that they were going to apply pressure and say, this needs to be a decision right this moment when I don't have a finalized ass date. And that doesn't impress me either. And they were surprised at the moment that they said, this is what we're going to do if you can't give us an answer now, where I was just going to hold the press because they had said this. And I was like, all right. And the guy was kind of in shock. And the guy was kind of an asshole. Let's just be realistic. And I sat there for a few moments after the call, and I was thinking, it's so interesting on how I remember the days back in corporate America on how these things occurred. I remember countless times having to go to speak to the C-suite. And let's say, for instance, the C-suite was meeting from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon. Not a problem. And they would turn around and tell you, okay, at 10 o'clock, we want you to come by and have a conversation with the boardroom. Not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. And then all of a sudden you show up at 10 o'clock and then they tell you, oh, the assistant's outside and they're like, they're running a little bit behind. Go ahead and continue doing whatever you're doing, or you can sit right here and we'll let you know when they're ready. So 10 o'clock happens, 11 o'clock happens, 12 o'clock happens. Now we're talking lunchtime. 1 o'clock happens. And all of a sudden, around 2 o'clock, you have somebody knocking saying, hey, they're ready for you. Oh, and by the way, the 15 minutes that you had previously has now been cut to about 5 minutes. Now, keep in mind at this particular moment in time, on some of the ones that I remember pretty vividly, if you had a 15-minute presentation or a conversation you wanted to discuss and it went from 15 to 5, well, you just got 2/3 cut out. Okay, that's cool. Things you can live with. But the person that you report to has no idea about anything related to safety. So it becomes very crucial that you're able to speak the language. And what I always thought was funny is that you would say one thing and not even finish speaking, and somebody already had a question, which is not a problem. I love questions. But the problem becomes this. That counts to the 5 minutes that you have. Now, I remember sitting inside of an organization and talking about values, and they had 6 core values, and I said safety should be the 7th core value. People lost their shit inside of that meeting many, many moons ago, which I still kind of chuckle about as I think back about it. But it reminds me on how people that still work in some of these organizations are treated and mistreated by some of the stuff that happens. It's make a decision now in regards of some of the most nuanced things that can take place. Now, as workers are working, decisions have to be made in real time there. But if you're trying to do a cultural change or understand something that you don't, and you tell someone 30 minutes and you have to be able to change the culture within an organization, you have 5 minutes to describe something that we don't truly understand. It was the craziest thing. And I remember I constantly pushed inside of this organization for me to be able to report to the finance department, because the HR vice president knew shit about what was going on. And she was very afraid that I was trying to take her job because I had a degree in industrial and organizational psychology, which I told her I'd never wanted to do anything in HR, but she did not like that whole idea. She thought that I was trying to take it anyways. So I kind of look back for a moment and I go, how weird is it that when we want to do stuff, we have to be so precise to the moment? And you might sit there for a moment, and if you've not heard me say this before, I'll explain it. Why the finance department? Because finance department understands black and white. They understand this is a cost and this is a profit. And if you explain something that you are working inside of a cost center, not a profit center, because that's what safety is a cost center, but could lead to saving on X, Y, and Z, then they understand that better. Where sometimes talking to HR, it is not the easiest thing for them to relay in their head. So think about that today. Think about it from this particular standpoint. Just because someone is saying, do it now or leave it forever, sometimes you have to make choices that they're not going to like.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder Smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK. So clean, yeah, we make it look easy. Yeah, doing our thing, yeah, we make it look easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
We make it look easy.
Yeah. I do what I want. Bring them to the front. Eat them off for lunch.
Okay, here we go. 45 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Whip 'em Out Wednesday. Okay, so this right here is Make It Look Easy by Easy McCoy. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Pandora. So a lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. We would like to thank Easy McCoy for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show, because that's kind of what we do. Yeah, it's available on all streamer platforms if you're looking. That is for sure. So there you go. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help, and we want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the link that says Find Help. Once you get there, there's information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So once you get there, that information can change everything for you if you allow it to do so. No doubt about that. So there you go. TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. Okay, let's start talking right away about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. We're going to start talking about this one a little bit more. So I'm going to share this. If it decides to pop up on my screen or either. I don't know why it's not popping up on the screen. That's interesting. Let's see. Maybe my computer is just acting weird. So those things happen. Those things happen from time to time. Why is that not showing up? Interesting. But that shows up, but that does not show up. Interesting. Okay, so my computer hates me today. So let's talk about this. We have a new event coming up that we're calling Reality Shifts. Yeah. Reality Shifts taking place in Orlando. This is happening on July the 13th. No, it really is. It's happening on July the 13th in Orlando. Would love to see you there, of course, because we got a lot of stuff going on right there. We are going to be talking about everything related to human and organizational performance. We're going to be talking about the world of BBS, and we will be talking about the world of Signal. So this is going to be what we're calling an observational symposium. And we would love to see you there. We're going to be talking a little bit about everything. We're going to be doing this one in a movie theater. Yeah, I did say a movie theater, which is going to make it slightly different than almost anything else that we've done before. And the reason that I say this is for the following. Because as we're going to do this inside of a movie theater, it's going to change everything for us. And the reason that I say that is for the following. Because once we go into the movie theater aspect, well, what happens there is that because we're going to be doing it there, of course we're going to have to play a movie. We can't just do a movie theater and be like, no movie theater here. That's just not how it does it. That's not how we do stuff. So once we go into the movie theater aspect, it's going to change everything. So we'll play a level of a documentary if you're interested in that, no doubt there. And then we'll get everything moving. We're calling it Reality Shift. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.io. That's safetyfm.io to find out more about what the hell is going on. Yep, we keep it that simple in regards of what we're doing. So we'd love to see you there July the 13th. People are going, why are you doing this on a Monday? Well, we're doing it on a Monday for the following reason. I'll throw this up here just for the sake of doing it. The reason why we're doing it on a Monday, well, if I do it that way, I have to cut off the QR code. We're doing it on a Monday. That way you can hang out in Orlando. Hang out in Orlando over the weekend if you want to do that way. So reality shifts taking place. If you want to find out more information, safetyfm.io. Safetyfm.io. Okay, so with that being said, I do have some John Small waiting inside of the wings, wanting to talk about what is going on with the Motivation Minute. So if you're good with it, I'm good with it. So let's do that right now.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by Georgia. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." Yes, if you need help understanding this, I'll do my best. Think about exercise. If you spend one full day working every muscle in your body for hours, you'll be exhausted, and it's not really going to make much of a long-term difference in life. But if you spend a few minutes every day working on a certain area, like your legs or your arms or whatever you want to focus on, you're going to start seeing results right away, and with just a few minutes every day. Now, if you spend more time, you'll get more results up to a certain point. The magical thing is not the few minutes, by the way. It's the everyday part. If you do something, anything, for a little bit every day, you'll notice results. The more you do it, the better you get. So take a little time every day to get better at something. The Motivation Minute. This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Iran rejected President Trump's proposed 45-day ceasefire amid day 38 of escalating Middle East conflict tensions.
Trump held a press conference urging a deal before his 8 p.m. Eastern deadline Tuesday. Iran fired missiles at Israel, prompting IDF responses to cluster munitions in central areas. Oil prices continue surging as the Strait of Hormuz impasse disrupts global supply chains. Chris Anderson reporting.
Oil prices climbed sharply Tuesday while U.S. stocks dipped ahead of President Trump's Iran deadline.
Crude futures hit $114 a barrel as traders fear prolonged strait closure. The Dow fell amid jitters over energy costs rippling to consumers. Experts warn gas prices could near records if tensions hold. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Vietnam's Communist Party chief Tu Lam took oath as the nation's new president during a ceremony in Hanoi Tuesday.
The leadership transition fills a key role amid Vietnam's push for economic growth and stronger ties with major powers. Lam, previously head of the party, now oversees state affairs officially. Parliament approved his nomination in a unanimous vote. Gary Beck reporting.
U.S. forces struck Iran's key oil hub on Karg Island as President Trump warns of dire consequences by Tuesday evening.
The precision hits target military sites amid stalled talks over the Strait of Hormuz. Trump posted that a whole civilization faces ruin without a deal by 8 p.m. Eastern. Markets watch closely with oil above $110 per barrel. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Vice President J.D. Vance visited Hungary to confer with Prime Minister Viktor Orban.
The trip comes ahead of Orban's re-election push in Budapest. Vance expressed optimism on Iran responding to U.S. deadlines. Discussions covered alliance strategies and regional stability. Kevin Sanders reporting.
One gunman lies dead and 2 others injured after a shooting erupted outside the Israeli consulate in Istanbul Tuesday.
Istanbul's governor confirmed authorities neutralized the attackers swiftly. No consulate staff or visitors reported harmed in the incident. Police investigate motives as Turkey bolsters security around diplomatic sites. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Bill Gates prepares to testify before the House Oversight Committee probing Jeffrey Epstein ties.
A source confirms his appearance as part of the ongoing investigation Tuesday. The panel seeks details on connections amid broader scrutiny. Gates' involvement highlights persistent questions around the late financier. Liam White reporting.
U.S. journalist Shelley Kittleson gains release from captivity in Iraq on orders to leave immediately.
An Iranian-backed militia announced the condition Tuesday after her kidnapping. Kittleson, known for Mideast reporting,
faced dangers in the volatile region. Her freedom marks relief for colleagues and family. Kyle Norris reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
My station is so big that you don't have to do much to make it work for you. Radio Big.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, 54 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out, so let's start getting into it right away. And let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. So let's talk about that. Back in 1968, 40th Academy Awards postponed to April the 10th due to death of Martin Luther King. In 1986, Clint Eastwood is elected mayor of Carmel, California. Let's see. In 2022, the U.S. Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Sciences bans Will Smith from attending the Oscars for 10 years after he slapped host Chris Rock on stage during a 2022 ceremony. So there you go. Let's talk about some celebrity birthdays that are going on today. Steve Howe turned 79. John Schreiner turned 66. Izzy Stradlin from Guns N' Roses fame turned 64. Julian Lennon turned 63. Patricia Arquette turns 58. And Taylor Kish turns 45. So there you go. Let's talk real quick about some things that you ought to know. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is for $20 million. Here's last night's Mega Million numbers. The jackpot was $100 million. It's 5, 15, 22, 33, 37. The mega ball was 2. Colin Kaepernick is releasing his life story a decade after the moment that defined his legacy. Yes, defined his legacy. His memoir will be published on September the 15th by Legacy Lit, an imprint of Hatch Book Group. The book arrives almost exactly 10 years. The Kaepernick first took the knee during a national anthem in 2016, a protest against the police violence and racial inequality that sparked nationwide debate inspired by other players and drew backlash by politicians, team owners, and fans. Kaepernick, who hasn't played in the NFL since that season, says that his memoir will give readers the full context behind the decision to kneel before that, and he had been sitting during the anthem, but chose to kneel as a more visible symbolic gesture. So there you go. Also, President Trump's latest warning to Iran threatening to destroy a whole civilization if Iran does not reopen the strait by this deadline has prompted unusually direct response from the Pope Leo XIV. The pontiff called Trump's remarks unacceptable by speaking to reporters outside his residence. In Italy, popes rarely respond to individual world leaders, making the rebuke especially notable. Pope Leo said the threats raises not only issues with international law, but also a moral question for the good of the world. So there you go. Also, Americans say may soon be staring at $5 a gallon. At this time, it has nothing been done to the summer travel. Energy analyst from J.P. Morgan warns the strait remains effectively shut through mid-April. Gas prices are already up $1.16 since the Iran war began on February the 28th. Could cross the $5 mark within weeks. The national average at the pump right now is $4.14, up $2.98 before the conflict, according to AAA. Gas buddy Patrick DeHaan says that all of the records are both gas and diesel possible if the U.S.-Iran tensions escalate. Could see current records at $5.02. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You can stay right here and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. If I can leave you with some words of wisdom for today, this is it. Character, who you are really, character is what endures. So there you go. That's going to sum it up. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios. as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
I pull up to the front, doing what I want. I've been on a long run. You know how I get it done. Black diamonds on me, look like Akon. I done got up off the sofa. Now they open up the door for me, I'm chauffeured. Tailor-made circle, well-rounded, I'm cultured. Love for the game, clip the wings of a vulture. Fly than the rest of them.